Hey everybody, welcome back. This is our second episode of Coffee and Contracts. We hope you enjoyed our first intro episode of Coffee and Contracts, and obviously as you can see today, we sound better. Hopefully we look better. We've definitely upgraded our whole layout, so hopefully this is working as well for you as it is for us. And so yeah, let's get into our topics today. And as always, if you guys have topics that you want us to speak about or anyone that you want us to interview or items that you want to know more information about, please just let us know via message or comments below. So today we're going to talk about what the market is doing, what we're anticipating for interest rates, and again, the Temecula market as a whole, Temecula Valley market as a whole, and what that's looking like. All right, so let's get into our Temecula Valley market update, and we're gonna go ahead and start with Murrieta. George, you have Murrieta's numbers, so let's tell everyone what's happening out in Murrieta.
I do. June's closings were pretty hot. We had 254 total. Yeah, that's great. Our average sales price was $457, $284, so up I think from last year too, which we could pull another time. And then our average day on market with that one is 68 days. So if you're looking for a quick sale at this time of year, it's still happening, right? 68 days is still really good. So that's just the average through all of those listings.
Awesome. And Bree, you have our Winchester market update?
Winchester, yes. So for June, we had 38 closings. Pending sales, 71, and an expected time on market about 65 days, which is very good.
So it looks like we're kind of running pretty close between Murrieta and Winchester as far as our days on market. So pretty consistent. And Jess, you have our Temecula market update?
Temecula is about the same with 71 days on market average time. We had 190 closings, which is fantastic. Our average sales price in Temecula is about $526.
Awesome. Well, gosh, I mean, honestly, the market's doing really well, and these are just the numbers from June. I mean, I'm excited to see what July brings because it seems as though the market is really moving along. Days on market seems to be pretty consistent between all three cities. And I was talking to Bill Jowitz, our lender, earlier today, and I was just trying to get some feedback from him as in regards to what are rates looking like and what can we expect moving into the third quarter now that we're officially in third quarter. I mean, gosh, it's first week of July and it is kicking off already. So what I was talking about with him is he was telling me that rates are currently stable. They're sitting under 4% with a lot of programs actually in the high threes, which I don't know if
My buyers have been getting about 3.75 on average.
Oh, that's super awesome. I mean, my gosh, that's kind of back to where we were just a few years ago. Yeah. So obviously we've had some rate fluctuations in between there. He was saying that the outlook on rates looks like awesome, per his words. They look awesome. And they're expected to drop in quarter three and possibly really soon. There's a report coming out on Friday that will have some relevant impact in the direction of where rates are going. And he's definitely thinking that we're going to see closer to mid threes before year end. So, I mean, if you are out there looking to buy a home, if you are looking to sell a home, these are great indicators that the market is going to be holding steady through the end of the year, and now may be a great time to jump on that and to take advantage of a lower rate. And if you're selling, a nice market price.
Yeah, there's a ton of buyers out there right now. So as soon as the rates started dropping, more buyers were coming out. So if you wanted to sell your home, there's definitely a plethora of people looking to buy. Mm-hmm. So it's a good time all the way around.
Yeah.
I mean, high price, low rates. You can't get any better than that.
Yeah. Sounds like pretty much a perfect storm. Well, now that we've been talking about selling your home and now being a great time to do that, there's always a lot of questions with our sellers and how do they get their home ready? And of course, we're here and we walk them through what they need to do in order to get their home market ready. Mm-hmm. And that is very different than living in your home. Yeah. And we go in, not with any intention to do anything other than to represent your home in the best possible capacity that we can. And sometimes as a seller, you may not understand why we are asking you to do something or place that chair so specifically or unnaturally.
Not natural.
No, it's not natural.
We're not living in this space.
No, exactly. So yeah, once we arrive Yes, some furniture placement may become unnatural. It may become just placed as such that it just shoots really well.
But this is only if you're looking to get top dollar for your home. It's only if you're looking to sell it super quickly. And when I say super quick, that 60 days is still in there. If you are wanting to just go on the market as is, you don't want to do a thing, that's a whole nother story.
Exactly.
So it's not, this isn't for everyone
No.
when we go in and stage.
Right.
Us or a stager.
Right.
We do make suggestions though how to make it so at least when the photographer's in there,
Yes.
that it's gonna photograph well, even if it's just for the day, and that's fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell them if they don't want to, I tell my sellers, if you don't want to live like this, at least for the photographs, the videography, and then possibly at least the first open house, if you could leave it like that, and then if you want to go back to real life, that's up to you.
I feel like people really just like to see simple.
You know, you
like,
can.
Not a lot of clutter.
Right.
Exactly. And I think that's the biggest thing is, you know, you walk into a home and there's all this clutter and you just become overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And especially when you're looking at, as a typical buyer, you're probably looking at, what, 10 homes, if not more.
Right.
And what are you now going to classify that house as? Oh, that was the clutter house? Or,
Right.
Or if you can think of it, people aren't there to buy your furniture, they're there to buy your home. So
Yeah.
the less furniture we have and the setup is more appeasing to the eyes, they're gonna focus on the room. They're gonna remember the high ceilings, they're gonna remember the floor you put
Right.
in there, they're gonna remember the granite.
Exactly.
They're not gonna remember the couch you bought.
Well, it's crazy even like what just taking a few photos off the wall can do too.
yeah. Or taking a few photos off, adding a mirror
Yeah.
to bounce that light.
Yeah.
I mean, it's those little things that are just inexpensive suggestions in order to better that space.
That was the great thing. Inexpensive. We try to do everything as inexpensive as humanly possible. So it's
Yes.
not coming in there and asking you to spend thousands of dollars. We actually are trying to do the complete opposite. Have you do the most minimal to get you the highest price.
Right. So the biggest bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, and when we're in there, I would say for all of us, we're in there with the mindset that we are here to market your home.
Yeah.
We are, yes, our goal is to sell your home in the end, but in the interim, our job is to market your home and to showcase it as best as possible. So we're looking at it and saying, okay, for this room, it needs to look as such so that it photographs the best as possible. That way, when consumers are looking at it on websites as they're searching, it's attention grabbing.
Yeah.
We're getting them through the door.
Right.
Not stager. I'd say, well, if we had to give them like a list, like a top 10, what would our top 10 be?
Our top 10 list of
What to do with that house?
what to do.
Yeah.
I would say remove most, if not all, personal photos.
And if you can't remove them nicely, maybe replace with
Yes.
a non-personal photo.
I think also declutter your kitchen counters because people tend to store a lot of personal items on their counter, you know, their purse or sports bags, anything like that. Remove all of that. Remove
There's a rule of thumb.
toasters.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
definitely
number,
remove
no,
toasters.
7. It's like 7. 7, no more than 7 on a space, which is even too much.
I agree, that's too
Way
much.
too much.
I like to see a clean kitchen countertop, remove paper towels, remove pump soaps from all
Everything.
like bathrooms and kitchens.
The buyer needs to be able to imagine their own furniture in the home, and it's hard to do when someone else has an overload of stuff there.
Yes. And I think bringing in fresh flowers, if not flowers, you know, the fake arrangements from Home Goods, I think that's always a nice way to brighten and lighten a room without going completely overboard.
That was the thing, bright and light. Like
Yeah.
I always tell everybody, open windows, don't cover them. I just went in a house the other day that every single window was covered, including the really tall ones, like 11 feet up.
that was
They
dark.
actually had covers made. So if you have brightness, you have all the light colors right now, so like whites and yellows and grays, and yeah, summer, and even all through the year, kind of.
Yeah. Well, I think grays are always good. And I mean, if there's a dark paint color, I would definitely say repaint to a light paint color, which that's going to be a more on the expensive end, but it is going to pay dividends on the back end.
I think one of the biggest is the yard, the front yard. You know, you want to keep your front yard looking really nice
Yeah.
because the entrance says a million things about the inside. I feel
I
like.
agree. Yeah, if you have a nice looking front yard, your inside of your house is probably pretty decent looking.
Yeah.
You can have a front door repainted pretty inexpensively.
And that would freshen up the look of the house.
Trim. If you don't even want to paint the whole house, you could just do the trim, and that it gives it a facelift easily.
bedspread. Always do a good white comforter.
Yeah?
Oh my gosh, it goes. Yes.
And make the beds.
That goes without saying, right? You make your bed.
Well, hopefully we don't have to tell you to make your bed, but yes, you should make your bed if you're selling your house. Yeah, I love a good like crisp white bedspread on a bed, and throw pillows. That is a good, inexpensive way to lighten a room very quickly, especially if you have dark furniture. If you throw cream colored or white pillows on there with different textures, it will change a room.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just say one thing I've been coming across a lot lately is people with indoor animals or cats and the smell of the home.
I was just gonna say smell.
The smell of the home, it drives a lot of people away. Like
does.
it's crazy just the smell. You're like, I don't want this house.
Yeah.
And I think, making sure that litter boxes are cleaned, that
Furs picked up.
fur is picked up, you have good smell goods or good candles.
Yeah. Candles, or put some cookies in the oven before people come.
Yeah.
Yep. And definitely if we're looking on the higher end of, or if you have a vacant home, or we're looking on the higher end of really coming in and upping the game of the whole house, we do have a stager that we use who can come in and she can bring in pieced furniture, accessories, or if you have a vacant home, we always suggest that she comes in and stages the main rooms of the home. Just again, walking into a home, it's all about the feel. It is a very much so an emotional purchase, and it's how they feel the moment that they open that front door, and they will know within a split second if this is the home for them. So that again is what we are trying to create from the very beginning.
And if you can do that, you're going to sell your house so much faster, and you're not going to have to worry about keeping it like that.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It really shortens that time frame to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, we can have 5 houses on the same street for sale, and the one that's going to sell is obviously the most appealing with the less work. So turnkey.
Yes,
So if you have the means to do that, you want to be the turnkey house on the street.
100%.
Definitely helps.
And we can do it pretty inexpensively.
Yeah.
Help you along the way.
Super inexpensive. So.
All right, thanks again for joining us. We will see you all again next week. Bye.